Today's episode is brought to you by Source Forensics. Are you looking for a video conversion service? Well, look no further because I got one for you. If you are looking for fast, efficient, and honest, Source Forensics is your go-to. Since 2003, they have been converting weddings, baptisms, sports, and other videos. They have become a reputable and well-known video conversion service. Their team is up for every job, managing projects with the skill and experience their clients have come to expect. They want their customers to be satisfied with their work, which is why they provide open communication channels throughout the duration of each project. Trust Source with all your precious memories stored on various legacy formats, VHS tapes, DVDs, CDs, mini DVDs, cassettes, old vinyl, and 35mm slides. Whatever the job is, they got you covered. Contact them at 401-203-5019. Again, that's 401-203-5019. Or visit their website at www.sourceforensics.com. Again, that's www.sourceforensics.com. Now for our episode. All right, ready?
Yeah.
All right, on today's show, I welcome on a very special guest. He's Stanley Urey. He's a senior guard for Classical High School basketball and football. He plays wide receiver and cornerback for football and is a guard for Classical High School basketball. Stanley, how are you today?
Good. I'm good.
Yeah, how you holding up during these crazy COVID times?
It's hard because I just want to play like sports, just be outside, just do what I was able to do last year, but haven't been able to do that.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's such a weird. It's been such a weird year for everyone. What's it like for you, for someone that plays basketball and football? What's it like not being able to start like those two sports on time or like at a different time?
It's just different. Like even having football in the spring, like I'm glad because I hate cold games personally. I don't like playing in the cold, but like it just doesn't feel the same when you have to wait all year for it.
Yeah, it sucks because I feel like it's probably been something in your routine too that you've gotten used to. It's like, oh, when summer comes, it's like, all right, now we're in like
Yeah.
2 days or whatever.
It
So
was football, then basketball, but now it's basketball, then football. It's like
it's all reversed. But before, I want to ask you some questions before we get into a little bit of your career. Like, how did you fall in love with both of those sports, basketball and football?
When I started playing football when I was like 5, and like my football coach kind of brought basketball to me because I used to play football and soccer. I never played basketball until like 6th, 7th grade because my football coach went to coach a rec league team, and that was my coach since I was 5, so I just followed him. And
Yeah.
then after that, I just started playing basketball.
That's awesome. And how did you decide, like, on the position for football to be a wide receiver and a cornerback? Because you just fall into that, or is that something that you wanted to do?
Like growing up, I was kind of always not the tallest, but like one of the biggest on my teams. So I played wide receiver, and my coach's son was a quarterback. I always wanted to play quarterback, but there's no way you're gonna like try to take the coach's son's spot. So you just gotta adapt.
Yeah. And what's it like playing football? You play the wide receiver position, but you also play cornerback position. So, and cornerback guards the wide receiver. So what's it like to, play those two positions that like, they kind of interlocked with each other on the offense deep, like, they're interlocked with each other.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because one moment you're trying to score on the corner, and then on the other side of the ball, you're trying to prevent the wide receiver from scoring. So it's like you do both. So I feel like that helped me though, because it helps me guard wide receivers because I know what they want to do because I play that same position.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if that would help, if that helps you in that situation, if you can like read their moves or what they're gonna be able to do or what routes they're gonna be able to do.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now for basketball, you play guard. Like, are you a guard? You're a guard, correct? Right, in
Yeah.
basketball. So what's it like in basketball now, being at that guard position and kind of controlling the floor? And like, is there a player that you grew up idolizing for that?
Yeah. I used to always watch Kemba Walker because UConn's my favorite college. I watched Kemba Walker. I watched Bryce Cotton at PC, Chris Dunn. Like just those type of guards that could score with the ball and without the ball.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I think those are all great guards to watch. I mean, Chris Dunn is a great defensive player, and Kimball Walker, we all know what he did in the NCAA tournament at UConn, and just what he is now with the Boston Celtics. And so that's great. And Bryce Cotton, obviously, is another great player too that played at PC. That's awesome that you had those guys. And what are your thoughts now on, like, with the football season? Do you think you guys are going to have a season, or what's going to happen?
I don't know, because football is like a heavy contact sport. It all depends on how like Corona is going on around that time.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Hopefully there's some sort of cure. I mean, we had the vaccine, but hopefully Corona kind of lightens up a little bit at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about basketball? Is your guys' season starting on the 4th, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
First,
what's that like, knowing that you have that season, a little bit of change too. You're gonna have like 4 quarters instead of 2 halves, and you're gonna have a water break in there too. What's that feeling like?
I don't know. Like I'm just grateful that we have a season. All the changes, the 4 quarters, I kind of like that rather than the 2 halves. Because I don't know. We play like tournaments last year. We played out of state, like we played in Mass, Connecticut,
Mhm.
with classical, and like out there they play 4 quarters, 8 minutes,
Yep.
and I kind of liked it more because like I don't know, it just makes the game feel better.
Yeah. I coached over in Connecticut, so I know all about the 4 quarters. The only thing I didn't
Yeah,
like about Connecticut was no shot clock. That was the only one thing I didn't like about it.
yeah, they don't have shot clocks out there.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough. Well, who did you play in Connecticut and Massachusetts? What teams did you guys play?
Uh, first game of the season last year was against NFA.
Okay. Yep.
Very good team, very good team.
Yep.
And then we played Oliver Ames, Dayton Rehoboth, and Mansfield.
Oh wow, that's awesome. What's it like to play other teams from different states, like see different competition?
It's just like crazy because number one, just going out there, you barely have any fans. They pack their stands, especially NFA. You just see red all over, just red, and they'll just like heckle you all game, talk to you.
Yep.
Mm.
I've coached against NFA, so I know all about coaching against
Yeah,
NFA. Yeah.
all the fans in your ear all game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I know that all too well. Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough place to play, but that's awesome that you get to have those experiences, and play in different states and see different competition across New England.
Yeah.
And now do you have any pregame rituals before you play in a game or anything like that?
Before I play in the game, I do like mainly the same stuff every game. I go to Island House, which is across the street from my school. And like depending on if I feel like it's gonna be a good game, I'll get like a chicken and waffles. But if I feel like it's gonna be like, I don't know, like it's just looking the whole day felt off, I'll get like a burger and fries. And then I'll go back in the locker room, listen to music for a little bit. I use the bathroom because I always have to use the bathroom before we go on the bus or head upstairs.
Yep.
And I just get ready.
There you go. All right. I like it. Why now? So like when you have that feeling of like, you're gonna have a good game, have you ever had like a game where you got the cheeseburger and French fries where you just had an outstanding game after that?
Yeah.
Was there any way you were gonna change it to cheeseburger, or you're like, oh, maybe I should have went, it was a chicken and waffle kind of day?
Not the day was like it was a bad like in school,
Yep.
like I just didn't feel like right. Like it was just a bad day. So I was like, I'm not gonna buy chicken and waffles today. I'm gonna just buy cheeseburger and fries because I already feel how the mood is. I bought the cheeseburger and fries. I ended up playing good. And I was
That's
just like,
awesome. That's awesome. It doesn't
yeah,
bog
I
you
was
down.
happy. Huh?
It doesn't like make you like feel like bog you down or anything like that. Like,
Nah.
like,
It's just like a different like taste. It's just like a different taste.
That's awesome. I love that you do that, and like how you feel at the day of the school, and the cheeseburger and French fries, the chicken and waffles. That's awesome that you do that.
Yeah.
Ours was at D'Angelo's. That was mine growing up. It was D'Angelo's. It was always like a steak bomb, number 9. If we were traveling somewhere, or we'd order a pizza from somewhere. So if we had to go like on a long trip.
Everybody kind of on my team has like their own pregame ritual. Like after school, you'll just see everybody take off,
Right.
and everybody's just back at 4:15.
That's awesome though. At least, does anyone go with you? Does anyone follow the same thing
Yeah,
that you do?
yeah.
That's awesome. And now, for any games from last year, between from football first, was there a game that stood out to you last year the most from like a game that like you remember the most?
Um, I'd say for football, Lincoln and like Coventry.
Why those two games?
Lincoln because last year I didn't play football sophomore year because freshman year it was like just crazy. I thought the varsity coach had something against me, but I was just like I was overthinking. So I didn't play sophomore year. I came back junior year. So at first I was just playing straight cornerback. Lincoln was the first game. He put me on the rotation for wide receiver. And that game is when I caught my like first passes. Like I was actually getting yards when I was catching the ball. That's why I said that's a memorable game. And Coventry, that game, we didn't actually have our head coach. But this was like 2 games after Lincoln. And I was still touching the ball a lot. We got like blown out, but I was the only one that scored. So that's also why I said it's a memorable game.
That's awesome. That's great. That's great that you guys touches. How was the rest of your football season for like the year for you guys?
It was good. Like we started rolling, but our like I don't know. It was just too late.
Yeah, that happens. And now, what about basketball? What was there a game that stands out to you most out in basketball?
Yeah. Mount Pleasant, the first like regular season game. Hendricken and Coventry, the last game.
The last game, and why do those stand out to you? I think I know why about the Hendricken, but what about the other two?
The Mount Pleasant game, that game stands out to me because I've personally never beaten Mount in my high school career. Like JV, summer league, everything included. And like the day of that game, just like it was a cheeseburger and fries type of day.
Yeah, yeah.
Because to start off, like last year I was slacking with my grades. So earlier in the day, I've been waiting for this game since like September because all my friends go to Mount. So earlier in the day, like administration told me I couldn't play because my grades were off. So that whole day, I was just working, like getting my grades back up, just working the whole day. And like my school favors Mount a lot. So people in school is telling me, "Oh, you guys are about to get blown out. You guys are about to lose by 30." Like, and then I have to do makeup work on top of it. So it was just like a lot of stuff just triggering me, getting me mad.
Yeah.
So going into the game, like Mount's a great team. And we don't have any big men. So like, I just start overthinking. I didn't start that game. To start the game, our 2 like starters, my friend Marquise, which is a junior now, and a senior Khalil, they got into foul trouble. So they had to be taken out. I played the whole first half. I hit like 4 threes in the first half, and I ended up the game with 23 points, and we lost by a buzzer.
Oh, that stinks. That's tough. That's
Yeah.
rough.
And it was it was the actual day. Like we played NFA one day before. We played NFA on Thursday. Then we played Mount on Friday.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's the NBA schedule right
Crazy.
there.
And the Hendricken game, it came down to the wire also, and I had 21 points. I think they was undefeated at the time, so we would have been their first loss, and they're Division I champions. We had a chance to beat them, and it came down to one free throw, and we just missed it.
Now, didn't you have another game against them too? Like, it wasn't the same thing. You guys lost by a point against them as well. Did you have like 30 that game?
That was against like North Kingston.
Oh, was it against North Kingston? All right.
Yeah, all the like. That's the weird thing about our season last year. All the top 4 or 5 teams, we'd go down to the wire, except for LaSalle. LaSalle, I don't know, but the rest of the top 4 teams, we'd go to the wire with them, and then just like lose in the end. Like Mount, NK, and Hendy, we beat East Providence and lost to LaSalle.
Wow. Yeah, I read an article that you guys like lost. There was like 6, 7 games where you guys had lost just by like a point. That was it, really.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's so heartbreaking too.
Yeah, that was bad.
That's really tough. And what do you look forward to, this upcoming season? I know it's a shorter season, but what do you look forward to the most? What's like, what are you looking for?
Yeah, this year, I feel like this is just our best chance to just go and try to get the title. We have all the pieces this year, I feel like.
That's good. That's awesome. I hope you guys do. I'm going to probably, if I can come to a game, I'd love to come to a classical game for sure. If I'm allowed in. If not, then I'm going to have to watch it on maybe the NFHS network or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, Stanley. Now I just want to ask some questions. To get to know you more, for the listeners to get to know you more outside of basketball. So for your pregame ritual, you said you listen to music. What kind of music do you listen to?
Before a game, I would listen to Lil Durk,
Okay.
Lil Baby, Young Boy, just cause they just all have like songs for every mood. I feel like.
That's true. That's true. And then like, who's your favorite artist? Do you have a favorite artist, or you just listen to like who's got a nice like good hot song that's out?
Favorite artist, my top 2 is Young Boy and Lil Durk.
All right. Okay. That's awesome. And now, do you have a favorite NBA team and NFL team?
Yeah. People make fun of my favorite teams, but this the thing. I've been rocking with these teams since I knew what really basketball football was. So obviously I'm not gonna switch.
Yeah.
My favorite NBA team is Golden State.
Okay.
Because Curry's my favorite player.
Yep. There's nothing wrong with that.
And my favorite football team is Denver Broncos because I was a big Peyton Manning fan, but they're down bad right now.
Yeah, that's all right. They'll come back. There's nothing wrong with those. Those are 2 completely different answers than I was kind of expecting. I was expecting like maybe Patriots and like the Lakers. I've got a lot of Lakers.
No Patriots over here.
Yeah, no, that's good. And now, who's your favorite NFL player? You said Steph Curry's your favorite NBA, but who's your favorite NFL?
Current NFL player? That's tough. I'm gonna have to say Alvin Kamara, even though he's on the Saints. I just feel like he's just changing the style of running backs.
Yeah, he's a monster. Did you see that 6 touchdown game that he
had? Yeah,
had?
that's crazy. Like, and he acted like that was just normal for him.
I know. It's like
that's what made it even crazier because it was just like 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, I hope they have a good season. I mean, I hope they finish out the season strong. I always root for them. I like Alvin Kamara a lot. He's a great player.
I personally got them, Chiefs or Packers winning
the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Who do you think is gonna face each other in the Super Bowl?
Chiefs and I gotta think about who's really on the other side. I always mess up the NFC and AFC. That's why I don't want to say. Chiefs and Seahawks.
Seahawks, that's a good one. The Seahawks are tough. Their defense is always good.
I don't know with the Seahawks though. That's the thing. They're like a if team.
They're very shaky, and they get hot. They're really tough to stop. Like Russell Wilson, when he was playing in the beginning of the season, he was hot. He was like on fire, like throwing touchdowns. Yeah, But we'll see what happens. I mean, I think the Chiefs is definitely a guarantee for sure. They just seem like
Yeah, the Chiefs, like, I don't know. That team's too crazy.
yeah.
I was
Mahomes
watching
has
them one time.
Mahomes is nasty.
I was watching them one time down 3 with like a minute. They get up the field in like 20 seconds.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like
I was like, there's no way someone's always open every play.
it's like playing Madden. That's what it's like.
Yeah.
Obviously. That's crazy. Yeah, they're a crazy team. We'll see what happens with them. This season should be interesting. If they lose, I'd be shocked.
Yeah.
It'd be very interesting. What's your favorite thing to do outside of the two sports that you play?
Play video games with my friends.
What video games do you guys play?
We play Madden 2K very competitively.
Really?
Yes, like all day. If one person loses, they're gonna rematch. And if you beat them, they're gonna rematch. It just keeps going.
That's awesome. And what system do you play on?
We play on the PS4.
The
We was
PS4.
all like hoping someone in the area would get a PS5 for Christmas, but like nobody asked for it.
Oh no.
And I told them, I was like, if nobody asked for it, why do you think your parents are just gonna get it for you? That's just not something you surprise your kid with.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's they didn't ask for it. You're not gonna get it.
Yeah, like it's just common sense.
Yeah, it's a Christmas list. That's what they call the Christmas list. And now one last question for you. Actually, a couple more. First of all, teams in 2K and Madden that you use.
In 2K, um, we play. It depends. If we play current, like current rosters instead of all time with like the grades on every team. If we play current, I pick Brooklyn Nets. I just feel like nobody could stop KD.
They look so good too this year in the regular
Yeah, I just
season.
feel like nobody could stop KD.
Yeah, he looks like he didn't even get injured. That's like the scary thing about it.
And if we play like all time, I'll pick Warriors.
All right, yeah, that's a good
You
team.
can't stop Curry, KD, Wilt Chamberlain. It's impossible.
Yeah, that's impossible. That's a big lineup, and that's
Yeah,
a lot of
it's
threes.
impossible.
Yeah, that's it's totally impossible. Now, what about Madden? Who do you use?
Madden, I use Cowboys and Saints.
Those are good. That's an interesting mix. The Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cowboys, I don't know. I just like to use them. I don't know. I get good with them because Ezekiel and like they don't really got that many good wide receivers, but they're fast.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Yeah, and yeah, they got a pretty decent team. That's awesome. They use those. Those are two different teams. I can see the Saints for sure, but the Cowboys is an interesting pick. But that makes sense. All right, and then one last question before we wrap it up: is there a position that you would like to try in one game in a football game that you would like? Like, would you like to play quarterback? What would be the one position that you would like want to play just for like a play or a game, like a game?
I want to play quarterback.
Quarterback, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
a good
played
position.
quarterback freshman year, but that was for like freshman football and JV. I made the switch to varsity later in the season, but I sprained my ankle. Quarterback, I felt like quarterback was just like fun. Cause with me, freshman football, I was just taking 3 steps back. If he wasn't open, I was just running.
That's awesome.
I used my feet. I'm not gonna lie, I used my feet mainly than my arm, but it was still fun.
How many touchdowns did you score?
Uh, Rushing, I probably had like 7 on the year.
Wow.
Throwing, I probably had like 4 or 5.
Nice. That's awesome. That's all really cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, Stanley, thank you so much for being on the show. This has been great. You're a great kid. I'm excited for your basketball season and I'm excited for your football season to come up as well too. Definitely gonna have to try to at least come to one of the two if I'm allowed. I'm sure football might be more allowed than basketball.
Yeah.
But you're a great kid, man. You got a lot going for you. Two-sport athlete with all the potential in the world. I see the box scores and the numbers you're putting up in basketball. So you're doing great, and looking forward to your season. And definitely forward to having you back on in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Stanley. Have a good one.
You too.
Oh, hang on. Oh man.